Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel TechDataEngineer. So in this video we will understand what is prompt engineering, what are the techniques to define and to create a good prompt, okay? So in this video we will see the how to create the good prompt with the different way, okay? And with the examples also. Okay. So let us understand the prompt engineering. So, prompt engineering is nothing but it is a skill of crafting clear, structured, and smart instructions called prompts. Okay, so prompts is nothing but if we am asking something to the LLM. Okay, so that should be clear, structured, and that should be the smart instructions. And we need to define the clear context also, in which context we are asking. We need to define certain constraint also. So if we are asking in certain way and we are defining certain constraint, we need to define that also. If we need to, if we are asking something, then before that we need to give the context also so that we will get the whatever the response we will get, that would be the actual response whatever I have asked. Okay, so with this example, with this diagram, we will see what is prompt engineering. So prompt engineering nothing but whatever. So just I'm write an article about prompt engineering, so that is called prompt. If something I'm asking to any AI model, that is called prompt. So before writing any prompt, what things we need to keep in mind, like whenever we are designing any prompt, like we need to give the topic and task. We need to give the clarity also, like in what. So we need to define and we need to give the clarity also. Then we need to define the context. In which context I am asking. Okay, then we need to define the constraint also. Suppose I'm writing about apple, so apple is something like it's a fruit, or I'm asking about the apple company. Okay, so we need to give the context also, we need to give the clarity also, and we need to define the certain constraint. Okay, if you don't want in the broad level, then we need to define the constraint also. Constraint is something you can understand, like give it in the 500 words, or like whatever the uh, I can say any blockage you can consider, or whatever the defined area we wanted to define on that particular prompt, we can define the constraint. Okay, so if we will follow this particular thing, we will get the good responses. Okay, so let us understand with some theoretical their definitions, and then we will go with that the examples and their techniques. Okay, so prompt engineering is nothing but it is a skill of crafting real, structured, and smart instructions. So whatever the real, structured, and smart instructions we'll asking to the any LLM, either that is the Chat GPT or that is Copilot, that is called prompts. Okay. So why we are writing prompts? Because that help AI model like Gemini, ChatGPT to give you the high quality output. Okay, so if we are asking some random questions, and if someone is asking something random question related to the same topic, it might be the different responses, and it might sometimes it might be the responses which is not useful in your case. So why? Because you are lagging with your prompts. Okay, so that's why prompt engineering is important whenever we are asking, whenever we are interacting with any AI model. Okay. So in this series, we will see the different. There are different models. So different model we will see. First model is like introductions of prompt engineering. So in this module, we will see like what are the prompt engineering, LLMs, and why prompt engineering matters, and role of prompt in GenAI. Okay. Okay. So and then you can learn the after learning these things, you can do the activity like you can try your prompt and you can see the answers. Okay. So first we will go by the definition. What is prompt engineering? So prompt engineering is the process of designing and optimizing prompt, the text input you given to generative AI. Okay, so prompt engineering is nothing but it's like a process of designing and optimizing any prompts. Okay, and what is prompt? The text and input you give to generative AI. Okay, to get the accurate and useful or creative output from the language LLM. Okay, so whatever the if we'll give the more accurate input, more contextual input, and if you'll define the constraint, you will get the output which is very useful. Okay, so Talking to AI is a smart way to understand and respond exactly how you want. Okay, so whatever things we are giving, if we are giving the good prompt, you will get the good response. So that is always directly proportional. Okay, so we will see some key ideas like prompt is like a questions or instruction to the AI. So we understand that prompt is a instructions which we are giving to the LLM models. Okay, so we well defined, well crafted prompts give you better results. So if we are asking something to the LLM model, if we are giving the good prompt, then it will give the good answers, good responses. Okay, so prompt engineering includes choosing right words. So what are the things we need to keep in mind when we are writing the prompts? Okay, so prompt engineering includes choosing the right words, right format, and sometimes the right tone or structures also. Okay, which in which tone we are asking. Okay, so that does matter if you wanted the good responses. Okay, now we will see what are the LLM. So LLM as like a large language model. Okay, these are trained on the very big data, very vast data. Okay, so and very vast data on GPU. So these are the AI model that respond to your prompt. So we will see the model name like ChatGPT that is provided by OpenAI. What is speciality about that? That is the general purpose coding and writing. Then we have the mod Claude that is provided by Anthropic. They have this specialty like Safer, so that is for long context documents. So the Gemini we have that is provided by Google. DeepMind multi-model. Then we have Mistral. We have the Mistral.ai. The Llama we have from the Meta that is for research and open source community. So you use prompt engineering to control what this LLM do. Okay, so whatever you wanted to ask, you can ask from this LLM. So how LLM works basically, you give a prompt that is called input. Suppose I am write something about cow on 100 words. Okay, so if I am giving this prompt, so our LLM what it will do, it will give the whatever the whatever things are on cow, it will give under 100 words. Okay, so that LLM predict the next big word and based on the training, and then it continues generating the text until it thinks it has answered. Okay, so how LLM works, you give the prompt, then LLM predict the next best word or token based on its training, and then third things what it will do, it will continue generating text until it thinks it has the answers. Okay, so these are the three steps where how LLM works basically. So in technical details, we will see in the different video. These are the functional things we are explaining. So technical things, how next generation happened and all, we will see. Okay. Now the question comes into mind why prompt engineering matters. Okay. So why prompt engineering matter? Why everyone should learn prompt? Okay, because everyone know English, right? So they can ask anything from the LLM and they will get the answer. Yeah, but the thing is why we should learn the prompt engineering, because without a clear prompt, LLM give you like your wrong answers. Okay, so good prompt always save time, reduce error, and improve the quality. So if you are asking something from some error from chat GPT or anything, you have seen that they are providing the, if you are giving the different prompt and not the group prompt, it is not giving you the exact answer what you wanted. Okay, so that's why so it means that you are lagging somewhere in your prompt, so that's why it is not giving the good prompt. Okay, now other thing is it help in professional tasks such as writing emails, analyzing data. So if you wanted to write an email, then you need to give the context, in which context you wanted to write the email, what is your issue, what you wanted to highlight, what you wanted to send in your email. So you need to give everything. That should be clear, contextual also, okay, and brief also. You need to define the constant also. Or if you wanted to analyze data, crafting marketing context, or summarizing document or writing code. So everywhere, if you're doing some professional task, so everywhere you need to take care and you need to define your prompt. Okay, so that's why prompt engineering matters. Okay, okay. So now the question comes, what are the roles of prompt in GenAI? Okay, so how prompt drives GenAI? So prompt act as the interface between humans and GenAI models. Okay, they guide GenAI to create context, generate image, convert a speech, write code, or blah blah. Okay, so these are the things, and these are so in this video we understand what are the roles of prompt in GenAI, and then why prompt engineering matters, how LLM works, and what is LLM, what are LLM, and what is prompt engineering. So first module we have seen these things. Okay. So now we can see, we can just ask the prompt to the chat, any LLM models, and we can see the response. If we are giving the general response, and we are giving the response based on the context, based on the um, constraint, based on the clarity, then you'll get the good response always. Okay. Then we have the anatomy of good prompt. Okay. So prompt structure should be, we need to give the command plus context plus output format. Okay. In which format we want, what are the context for that. Suppose I'm writing something like write a code in something and store in different XYZ format. Okay. And create a document and store in some different format. So we need to give the command, context, and output format also. Then importance of clarity, like specificity, and then tone also. So what is the output control, like length, tone, format or style, the CSV format? What are the length, 100 words, 200 words? So everything we need to define when we are writing the good prompt. Okay. So what we have to do, we have the activity like rewrite the good prompts into good one. Okay. So prompt structure is the command, context, and output format. So a well-defined prompt typically includes command. So what is command? Basically, what you want the AI to do, like summarize, explain, create, or add. So this is called command. Okay. Then we have the second thing. So whenever we are writing the good prompt, we need to understand three things: command, context, and output format. What is the context? So context is nothing but it's like background info or subject, like the article, the 10 years old, or talking about some different city, Delhi, or some. So if we are giving the context, like AI will understand, okay, the person is asking about XYZ things, okay. Then we need to define the output format, like expected structure, like bullet, paragraph, JSON table. So these are the things that does matter, okay. So now we have the example, like summarize the article below in 5 bullet points using the simple example. So what is the command here? Command is like summarize. What is the context? The article below. Okay, and what is the format? 5 bullet points. So these are the things we have to keep in mind whenever we are writing the good prompt. Okay. So what is the importance of clarity, specificity, and tone? So clarity is like avoid vague words, be direct and descriptive. Then we have a specification, like give clear instruction and constraints, and you have to define the tone also. Define what you want the response to be formatted. So formal, friendly, humorous, or professional. So everything we need to define. Okay. So we'll see by certain examples. So we have a bad example, like tell me about World War III. If you are asking something, it is not giving the good responses. Instead of that, we need to ask, explain the cause of World War III, World War II in 3 points for a school project in a neutral tone. Okay, so if we are writing these types of prompt, it will give the good result instead of writing like a first one. Okay, why output control does matter? Because we need to define the length, we need to define the tone, we need to define the format, we need to choose the structures also. Okay, then what is the activity? So after completing this, we need to do the activity like write the rewrite the bad prompts into good one. Like we need to ask something like write about climate, and then we need to write a 5 sentence paragraph about climate change for 12 years old student using the simple language. So if you are writing this prompt and this prompt, you will see the different answer, different output also from the LLM. Okay, and the second one would be the specific, and that would be the precise also. Okay, so we need to do these things. Okay, now coming to the this is the most important thing. This is the basic prompting technique. So what are the basic prompting techniques? So there are four basic prompting technique. One is the zero shot prompting, one shot and few shot example, and one shot and few shot, based prompt and role based prompting. These are the four techniques which we have to follow while writing the good prompt. Okay. So the activities: create five prompt for different role: teacher, marketer, HR, and developer, coach. Okay. So what is called zero shot prompting? So zero shot prompting gives no example, just the instructions. Model relies entirely on its training to generate the answer. So if we are not giving any example, that is called zero shot prompting. Like example, like translate this sentence into French. Okay, how are you? So for this one, whatever the AI model have learned, it will give the answers. Okay. Now understand what is called one shot or few shot prompting. So one shot prompting is that you provide one example in your prompt. Like few shots prompting, like you provide 2 to 5 example to help the model to learn the prompt. So if you are providing the single example, that is called one shot. If you are providing the 2 to 5 examples, that is called few shot prompting. So now understand with the example, translate sentence into French. In English, hello French. And so we are writing like this, and then we are giving like translate this one also. So we are just giving hint to the AI model. We need to create something like this. Then again we have the few sorts. We are giving the few examples, and then we are asking. Then third is called instruction based prompt. Okay, so these prompts give the model clear direction in natural language. So write a professional email to a client, apology for late delivery and purpose or new delivery date, and propose a new delivery date. Okay, so that is called instructions based prompting. What is role based prompting? So you assign the model to a role and guide its own and knowledge domain. So you are asking the model like think it like a software developer, and then you are a software engineer. Explain the context of recursions to a beginner using simple terms. So what AI model will do? AI model will explain like a software engineer. You can say like you are a teacher, you are a lawyer, explain XYZ topic. So it will do like that way. Okay. So if